The thing about adventuring is that it rarely ever goes according to plan. Everything is nothing but a mystery. From paths taken with unknown dangers lurking in every corner, treasures and relics waiting to be discovered, and to bonds forged through companionship. For our adventurers, there is no exception. For what was once an adventure league is now a full story in the making. It all started when our adventurers took on a band of slavers with bounties on their heads, clashing swords with a warrior named Jibril, a strong opponent carrying a cursed sword. A sword Emaf claimed for himself without knowing what it would mean for their future. Following that adventure, they set out on a quest taking them to a den of assassins, a place full of traps and powerful enemies. But nevertheless, they managed to slay their leaders, who one of them possessed the power of voice, giving the cursed sword the ability to speak. However, on their way out, our adventurers fell into deadly traps, where Kaido and Andres fell into a deep fissure, while Balin hanged from its edge. At the same time, Nivara had separated from the group and was drowning on another trap he had fallen into. With his last breaths, he pleaded to the goddess Eldath to save his and his companions' lives. And just as our adventurers were about to perish, as an act of compassion and love, the goddess intervened, teleporting them to her realm. She, however, asked for something in return, and before the adventurers could even speak amongst themselves, Nivara agreed, sealing the deal and now in debt to the goddess. She wanted to be reborn, and for this to be possible, she would need the womb of a woman. In the need to find someone suitable, the adventurers were tasked to search, find, and bring said person to the goddess. However, our adventurers misunderstood her true intentions. To them, she wanted a sacrifice, facing a moral conundrum to either pay the debt and sacrifice an innocent, or face her wrath. And as our adventurers found themselves feeling helpless and vulnerable, the cursed sword spoke of another option: restore his stolen power and release him, so he may rid them of their moral conundrum. They would slay a god. Another decision that could alter their fate and their world. While our adventurers pondered on what decision to make, they took an urgent request regarding a gone berserk Mr. Mittens, a once peaceful pet taken out of his home by Andres. Somehow Mr. Mittens found himself tainted by a curse, and before the adventurers knew it, they restored a fraction of the sword's power by slaying Mr. Mittens. That will take them one step closer to a god-slaying power. Nivara, gone missing after the battle, forced the rest of the adventurers to take the path of slaying a god. Before continuing their quest of empowering the sword, they took on a goblin encampment in an attempt to salvage materials for the construction of a new base of operations, since the last one ended up in ruins after the fight with Mr. Mittens. And as soon as they finished building their new hub, their quest for the sword resumed, this time taking them to a village afflicted with a mysterious disease that wiped out all life in the land. Little did our adventurers know they would end up fighting the villagers now cast to walking dead. With pain in their hearts, they took down the living dead, granting them eternal rest for good. Balin, however, ran into the cause of the disease, a dreadful black dragon-like creature possessing the remaining power of the cursed sword. After a vicious battle where 3 of our adventurers almost lost their lives, Emas dealt the killing blow, pierced the creature's core, and took back the sword's power. Having gathered everything it needed, the sword urged Emas and the rest of the adventurers to head towards the Forbidden Temple. Once there, they faced an angel-like guardian, whose head was sliced off by Sheldon, only to realize it was Sister Eliriel all along, trying to stop them from making a mistake. This action devastated Ambles, in soul crushing his spirit. Emas then plunged the sword into the pedestal, where it revealed the Forbidden Temple was the evil Titan himself.
As I was tossed into abyss, my existence was dismissed. Power divided and denied. My body lays here petrified. My revenge will be infernal, for now I am eternal.
Having released the Titan, the goddess was summoned and all her godly power was taken away, making her now immortal. Once back at the hub, the group told Olby the cleric what had transpired. He in turn made a pact with the god Tyr, becoming his paladin once more and vowing to help the adventurers in any way he can so that they might set things right again. And that, my beloved players and watchers, are the things that have happened that led us to this point. Stay tuned for more of our adventures, and thank you for watching.